Hello and welcome. My name is Manda Stack. I'm an intuitive coach and energy clearing specialist. And today I want to share with you a special guest that I have on who's going to share about an amazing new technology that I had personal experience with. And I was so blown away by it that it made me very excited to want to get the word out and share about this. It's a bioenergetic device. And through the years, I have tried all sorts of different ways of healing and different healing modalities. And I have to say, what I am seeing in this particular device, which is new and being introduced around the world, is by far and away really one of the most powerful and unique modalities. And I'm so excited to share my special guest with you today, Karen. Karen Farley is originally from the United Kingdom, and she has lived in New Zealand for 30 years. She lives there with her husband, who is a native New Zealander, a Kiwi, and their two young adult children. Karen is the founding director of Karen Farley Pure and Natural Skincare, a popular online natural skincare company in New Zealand. It's a family business, which they started from scratch and involves their whole family. She has a background in publishing of the New Zealand's top-selling health and beauty women's magazine. Karen has been working in the health and inspirational fields for 25 years and is a health, beauty, and wellness expert, a healer, a writer, and a public speaker. And she also has this beautiful nonprofit where she connects with the earth and natural elements and shares messages from them. And she has this website, a beautiful poetic way of sharing these messages. And I would direct you to her website, which is snowdrop.nz, snowdrop.nz, or as they say in New Zealand, NZ, which I learned. So please do check out her website. So Karen and I met through a mutual friend. We are all trained in a certain modality that looks at energetic patterns in people's lives and supports them in their optimal well-being on many levels. And so I'm really honored today, Karen, to welcome you and to hear from you about this device. And you have a great story about how you came to learn about it, and I'd love for you to share about that.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm Karen, and it's a real pleasure to be here with you, and also to be able to share this exciting information. It's relatively new. The Healy device actually only was launched to the world in February 2019, and it's only in May that it came to New Zealand, and I believe it was only about a month before that it really was formally launched into to America. And that is, I'm talking about this year, so it's really, really recent. And I only got introduced to it towards the end of June. And it was actually just a casual mention. A friend of mine was all excited about this new device that she'd been introduced to. And in all honesty, she gets excited about so many things that I sort of almost missed it. It was like, oh yeah, device. I'm not sure if I need any more devices in my life. Trying to get rid of devices. But anyway, and then we sort of in touch with each other. She's actually my hairdresser. So we sort of connect every 6 weeks anyway. And I was talking to her and she mentioned this device again. And I'm like, oh, looked into the information, saw it was multi-level marketing. So it's actually social networking through word of mouth, which immediately made me go, oh, I'm not really sure about this. So that put me off. But anyway, she invited me to an evening, and because we always support each other, I sort of went along to her evening more to support her when she had someone come to introduce the device to everybody. And I actually didn't initially put my hand up to try the device because I felt that there were people in the room who needed like healing because they had pain and so on who tried it. Anyway, at the end of the evening of trying this device, nobody else had put their hand up. So I thought, what about me? So I put my hand up. Yeah, okay, I'll have a go. And the woman, because I didn't have any particular issues I thought that I wanted to work on, she just put me through a chakra healing program, and specifically the third eye chakra healing. At the time, I didn't really feel anything, in all honesty, because I'm sitting in a room of women, mainly women, talking, blah, blah, blah. And it was only once it was removed, I thought actually there was an intensity when that was running that I hadn't noticed. Didn't think anything of it. It was quite late at night by this time, about 10 o'clock at night. So I went home, couldn't sleep a wink. Absolutely couldn't sleep a wink. But it wasn't actually a negative couldn't sleep, because sometimes I do get that where it's like full moon and I get frustrated, I can't sleep. But it was like my mind was filled with infinite possibilities. And I felt excited. My mind was sort of thinking of all these different ideas and so on. And anyway, I woke up the next day. Now, one thing I should say about me, I've done all these different things and achieved various things in my life. Well, one thing I've always had difficulty with is planning and goal planning and having a big vision. And Manda mentioned I connect with nature. So often when I'm doing a meditation, Eagle will come and say, Karen, you need to have a vision. You need to have a bigger vision so that you can move forward in what you want to do. So I've done all these different things, but I wasn't really moving forward as strongly as I wanted to be with my healing work. And also the supporting other people in mentoring them. This was something that I kept putting on the back burner. Anyway, the next morning I woke up and I was supposed to be having a call with my mentor, and she didn't show up for some strange reason. Nothing's ever a coincidence. Anyway, I found that I sat, and actually the reason for this meeting was I was supposed to have actually come up with all my plans. I was supposed to have come up with my vision, which I've already told you I have difficulty with. And I was a little bit slippery about this whole meeting because I was sort of thinking, well, how can I sort of pretend that I've done what I know I haven't really done? How can I sort of make myself feel a little bit better, sound a little bit better? So when she didn't show up, I thought, oh, okay. Anyway, I sat down and I wrote out my vision and my plans. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then over the next 2 or 3 days, what unfolded for me is I set up my healing room at home, which I'd always had 101 reasons why I couldn't do. I had people come to see me and suddenly miraculously appear, and I'd be giving people healings. And all this sort of unfolded really. And also I would work a few days after I'd had this activation. I got out of bed all excited early in the morning, and I thought, oh my gosh, now I know what people mean when they say, do you want to feel excited for your day? And I realized, although I hadn't thought I didn't feel like that before, I suddenly realized what it felt like to be truly getting up excited. So that has been a transformation for me. So of course, one of the excited ideas I had was, oh my gosh, this device, which I'm actually wearing. I'm running a program now, which is it's called a job program, and it's all about balance and balancing nerves and things. So it's great for situations like this where you can really help focus you on a meeting that you're having. So yeah, I just thought I'm going to have one of these devices, and I could see all the potential for what it can do. So I don't know if there's anything specifically you want me to say, Manda, about the device and how it works, or...
Yeah, so you had quite the results that unfolded just from one treatment, it sounds like.
That's right. And I mean, that's not to say that everybody will have that same result. That's what happened for me. And I think I was lucky that everything aligned, that I had a chakra activation, that was the third eye chakra activation that worked for me. I have actually had a few people go, oh, I want to have an chakra activation now as a result of this, but everybody's different. And it might be that for some people, it's a different chakra that needs to be activated, or there are 120 programs altogether that run on the meridians, they run on different organs of the body. They do, like now, you can balance nerves, balance stress, you can look at detoxing, relaxing, there's sleep programs. So whatever it is, and we're all vibrating differently at different times. So and here I've got the device here, and it actually runs off an app, which you can see is going here. This is the resonance version, so I can run this remotely. Otherwise, you've got the programs which you would attach with electrodes that's what I had done when I had with the electrodes when I had my third eye activation. But yes, there's quite interesting results that people experience, but they are personal results, and we aren't allowed to share other people's experiences because it is a medical device, and it has actually been cleared by the FDA for use with pain management in things like arthritis in particular, and fibromyalgia, I believe, as well. and in Europe, it has been cleared for use with things like depression, anxiety as well. So those are what it's been cleared to use, but we still are not allowed to say that this will cause an effect. It is simply there as a support. But there is a Facebook page called the Healy Experience, where people do post all the different experiences they've had, like myself, and what their particular experience and results have been. So yeah, there's 120 programs, and they use like 144,000 frequencies, which it's quite incredible. So it's all working vibrationally. And if you know anything about quantum physics, everything is vibration. Everything. I mean, our hand, we look at her hand and we see our hand, but if you've got a quantum microscope, you'd be going in and you'd just be seeing space. And we're all the oneness, we're all the space. And this is what this is working with. It's working with the vibrations. And we know vibrations. We know vibrations when we walk into a room and you sort of can cut the atmosphere with a knife. We know how this vibration manifests in the physical realm, and we can actually feel it. All of us can feel it, whether we like to think about quantum physics or believe in it or not. So we actually do work with vibration on an everyday level. And this is working. The guy who developed this is called Markus Schmecker. He's a German man who's got a background in physics and quantum physics and also philosophy. Now, he actually is also into meditation, and I believe he went and meditated. He was a monk for 12 years and did a lot of meditation. And then he wanted to bring all this together, his experiences through meditation and what he calls the field and the information field that lives in the spaces that make us up, and create something that he could give to the world. I think one of his goals is that he wants everybody to have this technology, because he believes in the benefits of raising people's vibration so that we can all be who we were born to be. So for me, the device has helped me become unstuck. For some people, it may be that it helps alleviate pain. And for other people, it might be something completely different. And those are the things that get posted on the Healy Experience. But
yes,
I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking, but I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know. And I'm so excited to hear about this and to share this. So you obviously were so taken with your own experience that you wanted to get one for yourself.
Yes,
And
that's right.
like you said, it's some like the mission of the company is to allow everyone to be able to help themselves. And you can see how
that's right.
small the device is, and it runs by
It's
an
wearable.
app. So it's a personal.
It's wearable, and that's why they got it to work through the phones. So, like myself, trying to sort of reduce things like phone usage and so on. But this is using the phone, and the reason they're using the phone because it's handy, and they realise that everybody's got a phone, and they realise that even if you go to a country that's poor and a country where people have nothing, everybody's still got a phone and everybody's still got Wi-Fi. So their mission is to get this out for everybody to be able to use. And there's different editions. You can have they have what they call their gold edition, which has got some basic gold programs, which are pretty phenomenal. I actually really love these. These are based on the gold frequencies of a Portuguese health practitioner called Nuno Nina. And so you can get a device which works on these, which works on things like calm, relax, being, but also pure, which is more detoxy, release, which is good for emotional and physical pain release. So those are really solid, beautiful frequencies to experience. But then they're different. You can buy different levels, which give you more programs. And the program that I decided to get was the resonance one, which is the one where you can do these remote healing. So I'm not having to attach electrodes. But also I can send vibrations out to other people. And I think that's how you experienced initially through our friend Francis, who sent you some welcome.
Right. I regularly meet with our mutual friend Frances via video like this. She's in Australia, and she happened to mention this device that she was so excited about, and she said, "Hey, you want to try a session?" And I said, "Sure." And so she set me up with, you can just do a scan and see what are your needs right now, or you can program it for specific things. So she just did a general, what does Manda need right now, most spiritually, mentally, physically. So the device did a scan on me, and that there were I think the top 5 came up, and it was really uncanny how accurate it what showed up to be addressed was. So she ran the program for me, and what I felt, since I do energy work, I'm very in tune with energy, and I could definitely feel some energy shifting for sure. But other than that, it wasn't, like you, I didn't really experience too much during the actual session. But what was fascinating was after I got up, after I said goodbye to her, thank you, and after I was up and walking around after that, I noticed that the lower back pain that I had pretty bad for most of that day. In fact, if I were to give it a level between 1 and 10, it was probably about a 5. It was pretty distracting and painful. And I noticed that the pain was down to maybe about a 1.5 or 2 after that. And what was interesting is the program wasn't particularly even geared toward pain relief, but I sure took notice of that. And so I leaned in. I wanted to know more and learn more. And so I'm an advocate of this technology. I've experienced it myself. I've been hearing amazing stories about people being able to use it on their pets, on their children, in client work with others, sending healing frequencies to their clients and on themselves. So yes, I'm an enthusiastic person too. And let's share what the name of this is now.
Oh, the Healy.
The Healy.
Yes.
Heal.
Healy.
The Healy, right.
Yeah.
Healy. So
Yeah, and it's I don't know if I said at the beginning, I like you, Manda, I've done all sorts of different things. I've done, different healings, different modalities. And for me, I've been very, very impressed with the breadth of what can be achieved with the Healy, but also, the effectiveness. And it's interesting what you say, because I know when I run scans for people, sometimes people are like, oh my God, that's amazing what came up. And sometimes they're a little bit like, oh, I'm surprised that came up. But the results are usually the same, because the Healy's picking up what the frequencies are that are underlying whatever's manifesting for us. And often what's manifesting for us is not what we think on the surface. So whether it's emotional underneath the pain or something, oh, I'm getting a frog. You see what I'm saying? It's so I'm learning to trust the frequencies in the device and think, okay, well, that's interesting that something completely separate is coming up, and we run the program and the person finds a benefit, and you think, okay, that's interesting. That's really interesting.
And I understand that as you are receiving the healing frequencies, that I think every 10 minutes it checks in to adjust and see if
Yes.
If you've had enough of one thing, it'll adjust itself automatically every 10 minutes. So you're not getting too much of something. So you can set it and forget it, and trust, like you said, a lot of this is trust that you are getting the optimal treatment frequencies.
And often we think more is better. And so you saying that has reminded me, a lot of the, you can actually adjust how long you send a program for, and they go from things like 4 minutes to 1 minute 20 seconds, or 5 minutes so many seconds, 26 minute 40 seconds, and so on. And that's quite interesting. It's not like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And apparently these have been set according to the golden ratio, and also according to what they've tested as optimum times. And what Marcus Schmicky says is that, yeah, more is not always better. And that if it comes up and you're sensing, well, 1 minute, 20 seconds, that might be the perfect time to run. It doesn't, just because you can set it for 2 hours or 8 hours, you can actually set it to run overnight, which some people do, doesn't mean that that's the best. It might be that for a particular situation, just a 1 minute, 20 second zap is all that's required. Because anything can happen on the level of frequencies. Things can, I know with the theta healing I do, for example, you can witness something and things can change like that. And it doesn't have to be lengthy. And often the most miraculous healings can take place in a very short period of time.
Beautiful. And one of the reasons I personally am so excited about this is because as an intuitive, I have felt something coming. I have felt, and the word that has been coming to me for many months, stronger and stronger, is the word frequency and vibration. And I didn't really know what that meant, but I sure felt the power of that. So when I first learned about this, it was like I had like goosebumps, like this is it. This is what is manifesting in the world in a whole new way, blending, like you said, both quantum physics, the science of quantum physics, and the spirituality piece of it, and so much that is way beyond our ability to comprehend with our minds. But it's here, and I'm so excited to share it and get the word out. And because my personal mission is to support people in their optimal well-being, in feeling good, and mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And I really resonate with the mission of the company, because I always say that my energy clearing work, if I can clear one person, do some clearing work with that person, and they're more in balance, it's like a ripple effect around them and their families and friends and community in the world. And that is what the Healy, this bioenergetic device, is doing.
It is, and it's relatively easy for people too, because I know from the work I do with people one-on-one that people do find it difficult to make changes. And people can find it, when you look at things like setting intentions, affirmations, and a lot of the works that we do, there's often various strategies that we employ where people actually have to physically do things, set aside time to meditate or do this sort of stuff. I know myself, I find that difficult. I find it difficult.
Yeah.
I know people who come to me find it really, really difficult. And the beauty of this is that you can pop it on. And even if I don't feel like, say, for example, meditating, I can put this on and I feel more balanced. I've had meetings where normally I might feel, because we're in a family business, where we might all get a little bit wound up with each other, as you can tend to be more, have fewer boundaries than when you're working outside with, people you're a bit more, put on a face with.
Yeah.
So I put the Healy on and have a meeting, and it's a lot more calm because I don't get so wound up by something one of the family members says. And I do find that really great. And there's been times when like yesterday, I felt really, 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 really tired. And then I'd actually, because I've got the resonance, I've been running programs for everybody else. So you've got to be careful that you don't fall into the trap of looking after everybody else and not looking after myself. So I actually had to make the effort to think, I'm switching this machine now onto me, and I've ran a program, and I felt so much better. I just felt more energy. And sometimes it's simple, it's subtle. It's just, I might be more settled. I might just feel a little bit more balanced. And an interesting thing I felt one day, before I actually got mine, I went to my friend Healy, who'd introduced me, and I was feeling exhausted, and she ran a program for me. I felt loads better. Afterwards, I had to go to the supermarket to buy some food for the family, and I got to the supermarket and I thought, I actually don't really want to buy anything because I don't feel hungry. Not that I buy things because I feel hungry, but I just didn't really feel it was take it or leave it. I didn't really need food. I did buy food for the family because I thought they would be upset if I came home without anything. But it was really interesting, and I actually find I don't feel like eating so much. So
Ah,
there is a weight loss program too. There is a
okay.
weight program and a fitness program. But I'm like we're saying with the healings, you don't actually have to run weight to have an effect, because so much of eating is an emotional thing. So if you're balancing your emotions, you don't feel so much like eating. It's pretty amazing, I think.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Just subtle things that you notice when you've got one. And now I know that when the woman who came to talk at the first meeting I went to about them was telling me about her experience, and she said she wouldn't be without it, I was like, oh yeah, I suppose so. Now I've got mine, it's like nobody can take mine away from me. And luckily I actually have got two now, so I do have one that I can loan out to people.
Very good. So it sounds like it's so versatile, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, or an athlete, or a student,
Yeah.
or a practitioner. There are, it's for everybody. Anyone with a smartphone is able to
Well,
use.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've got one of the reasons I decided to get one too is we have a skincare company. I saw that there were skin programs, so there's skin regeneration programs, anti-aging programs. So, and I thought, well, if I can add added value to our customers by offering them, if that when they buy certain products or whatever, run programs for them, then that's a really nice thing to be able to do.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
so there are lots of versatility. There is lots of versatility to it. There are lots of things that you can do,
Mhm.
particularly once you know, like me, I had that third eye activation. It's like my mind was going ding, 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 thinking of all the possibilities that this was offering.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is
Mm.
so exciting, Karen. I'm really grateful that you have shared your experience here today. Do you have any final thoughts or any other messages that you'd like to share about this?
Mm. Well, I mean, I've enthused. I am very, very enthusiastic, and it seems to be that everybody who experiences the device actually wants, you know, usually wants to. I think there's actually a statistic that recommendation. I've got it here in front of me. After using the device at least once, but two or three, particularly after 2 or 3 times, 94% of people would recommend the use of the Healy, which is pretty amazing, really. And my friend, who's a hairdresser, um, she has people come to her all the time to cut their hair. So she puts the device onto them, and she's doing really, 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 really well in this business, because people are experiencing the Healy while they have their hair cut. Next minute, they're recontacting her and they want one themselves. So it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I think whoever's listening, whether you're wanting something for you, whether you're wanting it for your family, or whether you can sort of think outside the square and think, okay, well, actually, I'm a hairdresser, I'm a beauty therapist. I could actually be giving extra service to my customers by running a program for them. And then if they decide later that they would like to buy one themselves, then surely that's a beautiful win-win. So, and that seems to be, for me, the whole thing's unfolded, and that seems to be how it happens.
Yes, it's very organic, and the enthusiasm, like you said, if people experience it themselves, at 94% who have experienced it once or twice or 3 times go on to recommend it. That is
Yeah, so I'm thinking the survey they found that, let me see, frequency of use. I've got a couple of statistics here because I don't always remember statistics. And talk, but don't always remember the statistics. I used to switch off at school. As soon as they said mental arithmetic, I was like, ooh, I'm out of here. My brain would go. So, okay, there's a survey of number of Healy applications until effect. And it found that one application, 15% of people found an effect. So I'm one of the 15%. So after 2 applications, another 15%. So 30% of people with 2 applications will feel a difference. Once you've had 3 applications, that adds another 20% on. So 20, 30, 40. 50% of people will find a benefit after 3 applications. So that's getting quite high. So then after somebody's had 4 to 6 applications, you're looking at 70% of people finding a benefit. So that's pretty good, really. So then it goes up to basically, some people may need 7 to 10 applications, and then you're looking more like 80% of people will feel a benefit.
That is
So,
amazing.
and I presume that must depend on what the condition is and how long the person's had it.
Yeah, it sounds like, cumulatively, if you have this device and are able to run it on yourself, like you said, if you're in a meeting or, there's so many scenarios when you could benefit from it.
Yeah, I might put it on my husband when he's watching TV because he doesn't usually settle for the rest. I mean, I actually can run a program on him remotely with his permission, of course. You
Well,
don't go start.
right.
But yeah, but quite often we'll put it on the kids or my husband if they're watching TV or settle down for the evening. And you can do that. You don't have to sort of zone out. It's nice to actually experience that, sitting back, relaxing and experiencing it, but you sort of can get on and do
And
things
go
too.
about your day even as it's running. Yeah. So the convenience factor is there too, for sure. Well, it's been our pleasure and joy to share this. And if anyone watching this, if this piques your interest and you would like to experience a remote treatment, please reach out to me. And my email is manda@mydivineintuition.com. Manda@mydivineintuition.com. I'll put my contact information in the comments. And you can also reach me through my website on the contact page as well. Just let me know that you've seen the video, that you're interested in learning more and getting a remote treatment and trying this out to see how it works for you. If you're interested in purchasing a device for yourself, reach out to me as well. There are many opportunities where you can purchase it. And I would love to help get the word out and help spread the word about this amazing device. So with that, Karen, it's been a real pleasure. You helping
Thank
spread the
you.
word. So thank you. I appreciate your time. And again, Karen's website is snowdrop.nz. Please check her out. And my website is mydivineintuition.com. Thank you, everybody. Take good care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.